Aloha. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is Master Paul. Very happy and grateful to be connecting with you today. It is the 30th day of January and it is a Tuesday. And for all those that are just kind of scrolling through and you stumble across me on your live stream, this topic today will be about the nature of the light and dark side in relationship to our spiritual channels. Excuse me, our spiritual journey. Also in relationship to our spiritual channels. There's a little connectivity there. But I invite you to please stick around, as this will cover a rather large swath that we tend to not really understand, because we are souls in a physical experience. And our soul does have a huge amount of experience in which impacts our life, both light and dark. And so we're going to talk about that today and how we can identify it, what we can do about it. Okay, so I encourage those that are new to please stick around. Now if you have to run, then please note that especially if you're new, you can subscribe on my Facebook page, like and subscribe, and then you can always come back and watch the recordings, as well as above my video is a link to my web page. And from there I run podcasts. They run about a week late, but you can watch them, listen to them at any point in the future. That's a good way to always be kept up to speed with the different things that I am doing, which mentally reminds me I need to do my podcasts from last week. I have to create them still. So many things to do, so little time, right? So thank you for coming today. Thank you for hitting the share button. I don't suspect there will be too many people joining today. We'll see, because it's the State of the Union address with the President. So that's what I'm competing with, the President of the United States. And I would actually like to be watching it myself right now, but it's most important to serve. So thanks for joining. So last couple days and last week, we focused on quite a few different subjects. I always like to, for those that are new, focus on the subject of soul. The wisdoms and teachings of Dr. and Master Sha is what I bring to you to serve. This is Master Sha right here. And yesterday we actually did a teaching on soul healing miracles using the inner beauty, outer beauty. And we spoke about the nature, power, and significance of the calligraphies in here, and the nature and significance of the differences between inner beauty and outer beauty from the spiritual perspective. And it was actually quite enlightening. So I encourage you to pick up this book if you don't have it, Soul Healing Miracles. I won't be using that book today for what I'm talking about. I don't know if I'll be using any books today. I'll probably just be mostly talking about real life and applying wisdoms that have been gained along the way, along with interlacing of Master Sha's wisdom. So again, for those that are new, just tuning in for the first time, Master Sha is a divine vehicle, servant, and channel. And he, about 19 years ago, gave up $1 million a year acupuncture business to teach the power of soul. And he was taught by the divine. And since then, he's written 20 books, 11 of which are New York Times bestsellers. He has become a world-renowned healer and world-renowned author with probably over about 1 million cases in which he has brought about the reversal of a significant health condition. Well over 10, 15, 20,000 of them documented on YouTube. And he has the ability to transmit and transfer power into objects, books, and things. And so any great master, truly, if they're a great master, they have these capabilities. He's not the only one I've ever come across. I have met other masters and seen these capabilities as well. So it's not a unique feature, but with him it is quite powerful. So thank you all for joining. Let's see who's checked in. Welcome Sharon Dodd, aloha Larissa Wood, aloha Erica, and aloha Kristen Rojas. Welcome Heidi Pearson, welcome Kathy Arnold, and aloha Pamela. Welcome also to Monica. Welcome to Jessica, and welcome William Schramm. Aloha and welcome to Vanessa and Deborah Anderson. And welcome Dimple. Welcome also to Nelson Fiedler and Maria Crispy. Welcome Joanna Tremaine. Aloha Danta. Aloha and welcome to Nola Curtis. Welcome Candy Cornett. Aloha Steve Hightower. And welcome Missy Dodd. Welcome Kristen Strachan. Aloha. And welcome Criselda. And Sherry Dowell. Aloha to Raven and Lotsia. Welcome Lotsia. And I think I've covered everybody. If I missed you, please forgive me. Thanks for hitting the share button. That always makes a big difference. You never know when you can impact somebody's life positively. So let's go ahead and connect heart to heart, soul to soul, placing our hands in soul light, soul service hand position, dropping the left hand in front of the heart center. And we'll go ahead and I will invite in the beings of light before we begin today. Welcome Dawn Hipple and welcome Brenda Chung. We're going to do an invocation now to bring in the beings of light. To all layers of the divine Tao source, our beloved creator, our individual heavens teams, guides, angels and saints, dear beloved all beings of light, including beloved Mother Earth, stars, planets, galaxies and universes, Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, angels and healing angels, archangels, masters and ascended masters, gurus, lamas, sifus, saints, Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, beloved Jesus and Mother Mary, beloved Namo Amitofu, Kuan Yin, and more. We love you all, honor you all, respect you all, and thank you for your presence at this time. In whatever way is most appropriate, we invite you to please be with each and every one of us to serve us on our soul journey, awaken us, especially to today's subject, understanding the nature of darkness and light on our spiritual journey. We thank you for the opportunity, for everything that you do for us, for your life-saving, your blessings, and more. Dear the Source Soul Song of Love, Peace and Harmony, transmitted to all souls in all universes, we love you, honor you, and appreciate you. We invite you to please turn on, and we invite all souls in all universes to please come at this time to chant with us. We invite you to please join us to connect heart to heart, soul to soul. For anybody new joining now or in the future, this is a mantra. We do chant it each and every time I do a live stream. It is a mantra that connects heart to heart, soul to soul. It is translated into over 40 languages, and you can download it at lovepeaceharmony.org. If you follow Kristen's posts, she likes to post the different links. So thank you, Kristen. So let us chant together for a few minutes. Lula, lula, li. La, lula, la, li. La, lu, la, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. Lula, li, lula. 我爱我心儿灵，我爱自然人类，望丽容和睦世上，相爱平安和谐，相爱平安和谐。I love my heart and soul. I love all humanity. Join hearts and souls together. Love, peace and harmony. Love, peace and harmony. I'm going to close the window. There's quite a bit of noise coming in, so give me just a moment. I think somebody's out there cutting down trees and running them through those machines that break down trees. Quite loud. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I know how these microphones can pick up extraneous sounds. So thank you all for coming. Welcome. Aloha Elizabeth Arnold. Welcome Christine Marie. Welcome Jessica, Don Hipple and Brenda Chung. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. And thank you for hitting the share button, letting other people know about this topic today. Understanding darkness and light and the nature of our spiritual journey. This is not a 1-hour subject. There are probably a million perspectives on this, and it's likely that all of them have a great deal of truth to them. So what I'll be sharing with you is what I've come to understand through working with 3 enlightened masters and my current enlightened master, Master Sha. And he does not speak directly on this subject in his books necessarily. In his events he actually goes into great details. And so I will not be talking about any details from his events, as that's not spiritually correct. But I will be sharing with you a variety of information that is important to understand in the nature of who we are in this life as a soul, and how darkness and light impacts us. So I want to start with what I've come to believe is true. You certainly don't have to agree. And that is that original creator, whatever you refer to it as, source, Tao, God, creator, really doesn't matter. It's all semantics. It's all something we can square our head around. Original creator is in charge of everything. That includes darkness and light. Now, at least from what I've come to understand, that is the single most important understanding. Because if you can accept that Creator is in charge of both light and dark side, then you can start to understand a lot more of what will be said today. According to the wisdoms that have come through, when I have to do some preface. When I first came across the wisdom and teachings of Master Sha, I did train with the previous master, and she was the first one that started telling me a lot about the word karma. And I grew up Christian, so I didn't have difficulties with it, but I didn't have any understanding of it, I guess is the best way to put it. And her English was not that good, so something would happen, and to me it didn't look anything like what we would refer to as karma, and she would say, karma. You know, Mandarin Chinese was her native language, so that was one of the 100 English words she could say. I didn't see any karma, so I don't know what she was talking about. But as an enlightened being, you can see the interactivity of one thing upon the next. There is always in everything cause and effect. And so there is so many of us in this world of various belief systems that have difficulty balancing what we are taught in the written belief systems, the Qurans, the Bibles, and you name them. There's, you know, a bunch of them that I'm familiar with and unfamiliar with. And there's written dogmas. I call them dogma because a dogma is something that is, this is the only way it is. And they don't really allow for a much higher possibility. For example, if one of the written belief systems says God judges you, you are a sinner, God judges you, well, that does not jive with a bigger picture that Creator is creator of all things. If Creator is creator of all things, then why in the world would Creator judge itself? Any idea? If Creator is creator of all things, why would it create a light and a dark side? Would it do that purposely? It says, I think I'm going to create a light and a dark side. Why not? Let's see what happens. I'm not so sure that's what happened either. Don't know for sure. But from what I've come to understand, what I'll share with you, and you again can agree or not agree, we were all part of oneness. Oneness decided to experience itself versus simply know itself, because knowingness is not the same as experiencing. You can know that an orange is orange, but you cannot experience it until you have eyesight. You cannot taste it until you have taste. So experiencing includes the 5 senses and so much more. Knowingness is quite different than experiencing. So in the greatest understanding of cosmology, creation expanded itself to create experience. We are souls. We are individual snippets of Creator. And therefore we have been infused with all that Creator has in it as well. Since we all came from the One, we are all interconnected as well. As part of this creation, it's my understanding that we all have been given free will. That means choice. Choice to do things that retain oneness, choice to do things that move away from oneness. Hence the being born of darkness and light. So when a choice by any one of the countless, literally countless souls that were created when Creator expanded itself to experience itself, when creation was born, when creation was expanded, every soul, you, me, many outside of this experience we are familiar with, had choice, had the ability to experience. And if choice was made against oneness, which was allowed, then that created an opposite, a polarity, if you will. So when the term darkness and light is used, let us now switch that to a polarity, positive and negative. So both positive and negative are not bad. I like walking on the beach. You know what it creates? Negative ions. Is that a bad thing? No, it's a positive thing. So a negative ion is a positive thing? Yes. So don't square your head around positive and negative. It created a polarity. Do you understand? When the polarity is created, that's another way of saying yin-yang was created. As a soul having an experience, which you are having, you are a soul having a physical experience in this life. You are a soul experiencing other people's communication with you. You are a soul experiencing your body. You are a soul experiencing food. You are a soul experiencing. You are not a person. You are a soul experiencing as a person. Your soul lives forever. You do not. Have you come across anybody that lives forever yet? I haven't. And even if I did, they probably wouldn't tell me. So, as a soul that has a forever lifespan, because we came from Creator, our soul has had many, many experiences. Far more than you can recollect with your current mind. In those many, many experiences, we have made choices. And in those choices, we have created polarity. Some would call it darkness and light. Some might call it positive and negative. It is simply an imbalance that has created a separation between us and our source, Creator. The title of this topic is Understanding Darkness and Light in relationship to our soul journey. If we're going to understand darkness and light, we have to understand the nature of how it originated. And if you follow this suggested timeline, it originated when we, as a soul, trillions and billions of eons ago, made a choice that was not for oneness, not for collectiveness. There is no judgment in this suggested possibility. There is no mean God that on Judgment Day points the gavel down at you and slams it against the fist and says, "You go to hell!" That's not a belief that I've come to accept. We might lose 10 people just by that statement. That's okay. That's where you're at. This is the information that I've come to understand to help you understand the nature of darkness and light in relationship to our spiritual journey. So how do we work with that then? All I know is I'm here. I get that I'm a soul, but it doesn't change that I'm getting the poop beat out of me, that life keeps whacking me over the head left and right, that I have difficulty with this relationship, that I have difficulty with these finances, that I have, life just keeps whacking me over the head. How am I supposed to deal with this? Because it sure feels real to me, and it is. You don't eat, you pass this lifetime. You go out in the freezing cold, it's -40, you will die. You'll start again. And so you have to deal with life present as it is. So how do we deal with this polarity of darkness and light? We deal with it from the perspective, from the view that the divine would look at it from. You have to rise above your physical world perspective in order to be able to not be knocked off your rocker. It's when we get knocked off our rocker that we do not move forward. What is moving forward? Moving forward is returning back to the source. Moving forward is releasing judgment, criticism, and all those things that others bring towards us or that we accept about ourselves. Moving forward is seeing things from above in a very different way. It is stated in many of the advanced texts that the Bodhisattva, which is a person in training to become enlightened, does not fear, the Bodhisattva does not fear the effect. The Bodhisattva fears the cause. What does that mean? That means the person on the enlightened path is looking at things from above. They're looking at their thoughts, words, and actions now. They're looking at everything they're thinking, everything they're saying, everything they're doing, so that they do not create more unpleasant future. When we find ourselves getting whacked around by life, and it doesn't seem to be changing, very predominantly it is because of the polarities that we are stuck in. Do you think your Creator wants you to suffer? Honestly? I'm always shocked when there's a gentleman that's in a prison that somehow found me on Facebook, and he started Facebook messaging me about 8 months ago. And you know, he has his horrible story about, you know, doesn't really matter how he ended up there. It probably was inappropriate and incorrect. I don't doubt that he ended up there for all the wrong reasons. But who is he? Where is his mind at? He is completely upset with God. He simply cannot take any degree of responsibility. It can't possibly be related to him or his soul being out of polarity. It's Creator's fault. Perspective. Okay? We can push and blame outside of us. But when we recognize from a much higher perspective and start being the watcher, start being the person that watches yourself. How do you do that? You sit in a place in your mind and you do not react. You do not yell. You do not do those things that create hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil karma. Karma is just another word for an imbalance in polarity. And so the Creator of all things loves unconditionally. When polarity was created, it is very much like a teeter-totter. I don't know if your language you understand teeter-totter. That's when one kid gets on one side, the other kid gets on another. Okay, or the balance scale. So as soon as the teeter-totter got off balance because of choice separate from oneness, there had to be balance brought back into place. So the polarity acts as a natural balancer. The person that stands on top of the threshold of their life and looks at their life from this perspective, oh, this is just polarity giving me a choice, an opportunity. Granted, it's not easy when we're in the middle of the suffering, but if we can recognize that all those things that are deemed negative, unpleasant from our current perspective are literally opportunities. It's a tough one to swallow, I get it. But if we can look at them from this higher perspective, we have the greatest opportunity to move into happier places. Because that same person that looks at it that way is starting to look at it like a bodhisattva, an enlightened being. They're starting to go, oh, this is where I apply Master Sha teachings. This is where I apply forgiveness. This is where I recognize this negative is an effect that was originated by a cause back over here. I do not have to know what the cause was. I just need to witness the effect. I do not have to get involved emotionally, physically, mentally in the effect. I do not have to go down the financial pain road. I do not have to go down the physical pain road. I do not have to go down any road. I only have to acknowledge it and do deep and significant, sincere forgiveness. Because whatever effect you are experiencing, according to this wisdom, which I'm again, it's not something you have to agree with. It's something that you should allow it to absorb into your heart and your mind and accept the pieces of it that resonate with you. If it butts up against some of the belief systems you have, allow it to butt up against it, not knock them out of the way, and allow yourself to say, okay, well, I will keep this piece of information. Maybe it'll make more sense at some point in time. Because if you can recognize that everything has a cause and effect, everything. There is not a single thing in this universe that is not cause and effect. How can I say that so clearly? Because cause and effect, follow it back, cause and effect going back to creation, back to creation, back to creation. All of a sudden we get to the point where there is no cause and effect. That is original when we were born as souls, before some of us made choices against oneness. That's when cause and effect was created. So everything, regardless of how it might look, has an origination point. And so whatever that suffering you're in, that darkness, that hatred, that anger, that angst, that irritation, that I'm going to kill that person, that I can't ever in my possible life forgive that person, all of that stuff that we hold on to, honestly, just think of prison cell and you're holding onto the bars and you've got the key in your pocket, but you're too busy rattling the cage going, why did you do that to me? It's all your fault. Meanwhile, that other person that supposedly did that to you is out running around, could care less, because you got the key in your pocket. It's not your fault. It's not their fault. They're just the deliverer of the message. Take the key out of your pocket. What is the key? Forgiveness is the key. Forgiveness, forgiveness, forgiveness. What do I forgive? I don't know what to forgive. Really? Just look. What is your suffering? That's what you ask forgiveness for. It's that simple. Whatever you're suffering, deeply ask forgiveness for bringing that same suffering upon others. It's truly that simple. It doesn't matter if you can fathom that you've ever been that way towards others. It doesn't matter at all. What matters is that you are enlightened enough to recognize cause and effect. What matters is you're enlightened enough to where you say, I'm not going to let my mind and my ego control whether I do a forgiveness practice or not. I'm going to recognize that if I have this suffering, there's a reason for it, and I'm going to use my key to get myself out of this jail cell so that I do not repeat this process moving forward into the future. So the nature, understanding darkness and light in our spiritual journey can truly be this simple in its understanding. The understanding is never really that difficult. It's typically the application. That's almost always where the hardest part is. Because when someone's suing you, when someone breaks up with you, when someone takes the kids and says you're a molester, when someone, you know, I can think of a million horror stories. You all have one, okay? What is that? Validation. I'm right, they're wrong. I wish to stay inside my jail cell, please, and rattle my own cage. I'm happy rattling my cage. Don't bother me. I'm actually going to turn this off now because this guy's pushing my buttons. Right? Enlightenment is recognition. Enlightenment is fearing the cause, not the effect. Those that are in great suffering are deeply stuck in the effect. Deeply, deeply stuck in the effect. Those that are suffering need more than anything to set aside their pain. Move above, look down on it, like your Creator does, like an enlightened being does, and simply release the attachment, because it is an attachment. Trust me when I say this. They have to release the attachment to the pain and the suffering and the victimhoodness, because when you have so much attachment, when there's so much pain, you are a victim. They did this to me. That's victim, guys. Now, I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm not saying to be a doormat. But is it helping you to hold on to that state of mind? Is it helping you to hold on to that attachment? Has it served you in the past 10 or 15 years? Is it serving you now? Is it moving you forward out of your pain? It's highly unlikely. In order to move from a place of unpleasantness to a place where we are happy and things are working for us, we need to move into controlling cause and effect. And Master Sha has given us tools to do this. There are those that are watching right now that say, yeah, but I have done forgiveness practice for the last 7 years and nothing has changed. Right? How many of you said that? Probably 3 or 4 of you. Nothing has changed. I'm not sure if this works, but I haven't come across anything better, so I'm just going to try it. Master Sha recognized that some of our imbalances, some of our polarities, positive, negative polarities, are so far imbalanced. Because remember, we are connected, whether we like it or not, we are connected to our ancestors. What does that mean? That means our mother, our mother's mother and father, their mother and father, up this side of the tree, and then our father's mother and father, up this side of the tree. It goes back, okay? And it has to do with how I started this conversation. Oneness decided to experience itself. And our great, 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 great million times great grandparents were born. And then we came from them. So that's why we are connected. So we don't have to take 100% responsibility for it, but we do need to recognize the interconnectivity of it. So Master Sha, knowing this interconnectivity, knowing how difficult it is to clear so much crud in one lifetime, from the generosity of his pure heart, he gave us tools to assist us to transform the suffering as quickly as possible. You've been doing this for 7 years and it's not gone. Well, guess what? Your ancestors may have been very unpleasant. They may have really harmed some souls. They may have really made some choices that created great imbalance in polarity, great imbalance in the cause and effect. It's not going to go away. That means we have to work within it and solve it at the level that it's come to us at. And it starts with clarity. It starts with clear comprehension of the game you're playing. Because once you grasp the game you're in, and it is a conscious game, it's a game in which you are a co-creator. You're the creator of your life, but you're being impacted co-creatively by those around you. And that's another aspect of the polarity, darkness, light, spiritual journey game. We're all one. So what I do right affects my brethren. All my brothers and sisters affects you. What you do incorrectly affects everybody else, and so forth. And so it becomes one where if we can move all in a similar direction, we affect each other very positively. All of a sudden, if, as an example, we get millions and millions of people chanting love, peace and harmony. This is just an example. What is that doing? It's changing alignment of the polarities. And when those alignments start to change and there's a shift towards the positive polarity because everyone is on the same page as far as the thoughts, words and actions, then collectively as a whole, all of a sudden our life filled with pain becomes easier. All of a sudden it's easier to get a job. All of a sudden the kids are easy to get along with. All of a sudden I'm getting along with my spouse. All of a sudden things are easier. It's not all of a sudden, it's because the collective whole became easier. So we are in this together, we are in this individual. We must move from selfishness to selflessness. And we simply cannot make that move until we comprehend our interconnectivity, until we comprehend the nature of darkness and light and polarity in relationship to us, until we recognize cause and effect and start acting consciously with cause and effect so that we can create a very happy life. Because no one wants to have an unhappy life. Anyone want an unhappy life? No? How's it been working for you? If it's been working good, good, keep going. But if it's been sucking, you might want to look at applying some of this wisdom. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a forgiveness practice. And I'm going to, this is a forgiveness practice for your soul journey. You like that? We're going to use one of Master Sha's mantras in here. Give me a moment. Okay. So I want to acknowledge all those who have joined. Welcome Niketa, welcome Loveness, and aloha Missy Lucas, welcome Crystal, welcome Nebadita, welcome Nina, welcome Gary, welcome Heather, aloha Don Brown, welcome Aspasia, welcome Pat, and Angie Taylor, aloha, and welcome Christine Marie, welcome Lali, and welcome Archana, welcome also Nola, welcome Aribel, aloha Megavarna, okay, I'm sure there's a few others here, forgive me, welcome Christine, forgive me if I haven't mentioned you. So we're going to do a practice together, and I really want you to really do a deep practice, okay? And take note of the nature of the practice, because it doesn't require a lot of practice, it requires a depth of practice. That's the most important. So let us connect, placing our hands in soul light, soul service hand position, dropping our left hand in front of our heart center. Truly connect. Dear my beloved, if it's comfortable, please repeat. Dear my beloved, divine creator. My name is Paul Fletcher, Paul Fletcher, Paul Fletcher. I am so grateful for all that you have done for me. You have given me life, parents, children, and many, many wonderful experiences. For all of these experiences that I remember as wonderful and beautiful, I am so very grateful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. From my heart, thank you. I have also experienced many, many unpleasant things. I wish to apologize to you, my beloved Divine Creator, and to all souls in all time, if my ancestors or I had brought those same unpleasant experiences into your life. I recognize clearly how painful these unpleasant experiences have been. Financial suffering, relationship pain, loss of life of loved ones, and so much more. It has been excruciating. And if I or my ancestors have brought any of those same type of very unpleasant pains into your life, from the bottom of my heart, I sincerely, sincerely apologize. I ask most humbly for you to please forgive me and my ancestors, so that we can all collectively move back towards oneness and love as quickly as possible. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Continue. Dear the soul of Da-I, the greatest love, the Da-I calligraphy, the countless blessings transmitted within, I truly appreciate you. Could you please bless my soul journey to help me to release the pain that I have experienced? Help me to change my mindsets from victim to responsible. Help me to see from the eyes of an enlightened being, so that I no longer am entrapped in the cause and effect cycle. Please bless me to consciously choose how to communicate with love, forgiveness, compassion and light in all of my thoughts, words and actions, so that I clean up the imbalances as much as possible in this life. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And as we chant Da-I, I will trace on our behalf to serve each and every one of us. Chant from your heart. Send your greatest love to all the souls that have ever created imbalance with you and your ancestors. Let us chant together. If you have a Da-I card, feel free to use it and trace with us. Da-I, 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 die, 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 Continue to chant, and I will describe to you what is happening at the level of your soul. When it was decided, the mantra, many souls in heaven gathered to serve. The great beings of light who had come at the beginning of this practice were overjoyed to be able to subdivide and go to each of you. They have entered in every case your heart centers, where the vast majority of your blockages and pain reside. They have come bearing gifts. They have brought virtue. The virtue is to pay down the imbalance, to bring balance to the polarity. There are many souls that have come lined up to each of your Akashic records. They are signing the document and receiving the virtue, releasing you of the imbalance that your ancestors may have created. There are many that are bartering, not believing that the lessons have been learned, that the ones who have done the atrocity have understood and comprehended the imbalance. There are many that are not in this practice, but that are on the receiving end of this practice, that are being educated about the nature of polarity, oneness, virtue, and karma. This education is to help them to accept the virtue that is being offered at this time. This education is to help not only you, but those who do not wish to release and forgive. For both need to occur. Your forgiveness of all those that have ever harmed you must occur. And the forgiveness of those with which you and the ancestors have harmed must occur. For the nature of Da-I, the greatest love, is to melt all blockages. It knows no other way. It cannot serve in any other capacity. Let us chant for 2 more minutes. Die, 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 die. Die, 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 Keep your eyes closed. In your heart of your heart, bow your head to your beloved Creator and to all of those souls that you and your ancestors have created a lack of polarity with. Misalignment, harm, and separation from oneness. Do one more sincere forgiveness. I am so sorry. I truly would not have made those mistakes. I apologize on behalf of myself and my ancestors. Truly, we have learned our lessons. We promise not to make the same mistakes again. We will do better. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. How, how. So when you are ready, you can return, open your eyes. Any sharing if you have any. Welcome Annabelle, welcome Anita. Seems like a relatively popular subject matter today. So that's good. I'm glad that all of you stayed. Yes, we promise not to make the same mistakes again. We will do better. We will do our best to assist others to be happier and healthier. And that includes ourselves. So if you have anybody was present that had third eye, please share if there's anything that you saw, any experiences you might have had. So the key with this live stream, and Gary Dougherty, Gary, go buy the newest book. It's called The Greatest Love by Master Sha. Just Google it, The Greatest Love, Master Sha. You will find it in there. It just came out about a month ago. Iris, welcome Iris. Love, love, love. Thank you for joining. I see some new names. Maybe you've been following me, I don't know. But if you've enjoyed this, please like and subscribe on my Facebook page and you'll know when I go live again. And I do want to do a calling, since there's some new folks here today, that I'm starting Sunday. I am initiating a 12-week Open Spiritual Channels program. I completed the previous course with a group of students, about 20 students, very, very successfully. A lot of happy students. And I encourage you, if this is something important to you, if you'd like to be able to, you know, open your third eye, communicate with the beings of light, clear your blockages in your body, feel better emotionally, mentally, spiritually, please follow the links either above. Go to my website, it's on the first page. Kristen Rojas has been very good about putting the links in her chat. And it starts this week, so it's coming up real fast. And I'm happy to serve you with that, if that's something you feel would be of value to you. And welcome also to Hilal. Great to see you, and congratulations Hilal on your blessings for your heart the other day. Welcome to you, Joe. And let's see, there's some comments. Angie said her legs were shaking and had heat in her back and tightening in her back also. Pain in her left ear. Feeling love and peace in her heart. Beautiful. Welcome Heather, and thank you for your comments. Thank you Kristen for posting that information. Nola Curtis says her palms are very warm and tingling, and she's seen us all with pink beaming all above us, and then changed all the colors to rainbow. Yeah, because we're doing a lot of group karma clearing here today as well. It's important to remember we are one. For those that came in even after the first 10 minutes, please watch from the beginning. Right about the 10-minute mark is when I went into the importance of this teaching. If you came in anytime after that, please watch again. This has some very deep wisdom that can be of great value to you. Larissa, very deep and powerful forgiveness practice. Millions of souls joined in. A huge amount of karma was cleared. Yeah, this was very big. And Monica, she's just crying. And Gary, this has really touched him deeply. Thank you. You're very welcome, Gary. So happy to serve you. One of the things I want to share with you that happened in this last class, this Open Spiritual Channels, the biggest aha moment for me was how many of the students came out the other side emotionally much better off, physically healthier, energetically healthier, far deeper, greater understanding of the practices and the application of the practices. Their channels were definitely more open. Several of the students opened their third eye, and some, one or two, newly opened their eyes. Some of them opened them a lot more. So if you have a desire to truly advance your spiritual knowledge, do click on the Awaken Spiritual Channels course. It will serve you well. It starts on Sunday, okay? So I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for showing up today. I love you from the bottom of my heart. I ask forgiveness for all of you. If in this or any lifetime I have ever harmed any of you, of your ancestors, I sincerely apologize, and I unconditionally offer you my unconditional forgiveness to you and your ancestors if they have ever done anything to harm me. So I love you, love you, love you. I thank you, thank you, thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, everybody.